All right. Well, thank you all for joining today. I'm Amy Horner-Balzer, and I'm a director at FinThrive, working specifically on the FinThrive Analyze product portfolio, as well as our data and the strategy there. So during this time today, I'm going to be sharing why we offer FinThrive Analyze, the problems it solves, and some ways it can help improve your business operations and performance. All of that with the goal of regaining and retaining revenue for the services that your organization is already providing. Now, we've all probably experienced a time when we needed to make a decision and knew that there was information out there somewhere that could make a difference. But getting to the data is sometimes a struggle and sometimes takes too long. Every day, we know that you are facing rising costs and disruptions and things like elective services. There's shifting reimbursement practices from the payers, and yet your mission has remained clear. You are providing exceptional care for your patients. And with that, having to balance the demands of delivering quality healthcare while navigating the complexities of running a business. And it's no small feat. It's a tough challenge, but together we can turn those obstacles into opportunities for growth and innovation. Now, I've been in the business of building healthcare software solutions for more than 10 years. And as a product person, there are times that, a lot of times daily, that I need to have data to support and validate whether or not we should work on something and then how to go about doing that particular project. I need to understand things about my users, like what are they trying to do? What about their current way isn't working? What are they using? What dependencies are there? What are the sequence of steps that they're currently taking? And before I start working on a solution with engineering to build something that is supposed to make things better, I want to make sure that it does. So I not only need that upfront, what's the problem, but how big is the problem and how many people does it impact? But I also need to know that if I try to fix it, how much pain am I taking away? Did I reduce steps? Did I save time? All of those questions I need data for. So a way that I get my data is we typically use like in product, there's usage tracking, and sometimes that's just how many times did somebody log into the application, but depending on what it is, we have different methods and things that we're looking at. So I sometimes want to know, like, what is a user clicking on? Where did they stop? Where did they finish the flow? Did they just abandon what's going on? And this is important, for building those particular projects, so that I know I can make the changes, or maybe I need to provide better training or something is missing. So one time, a few years ago, before FinThrive, I asked the engineering team, to build audit into the product. And I used audit specifically because that was the word that they used at that particular organization. So the team built an audit log, and when they got it done and presented it to me, it was in a language that I couldn't understand and I couldn't read it. It was just in language, software language. So I had to start over. So all of that story comes back around to mean that the data is there. It's just that sometimes we can't get at it, or it's not in a way that we can make any sense of. And that's true of most situations. Often, or even mostly, it's not that the data doesn't exist, it's just that it's not in a place or a format that meets our needs. So translating that back to you and your world, every step of the patient journey is recorded. A lot of it, or most of it even, is electronically recorded. The data problem in a typical hospital is that every department chooses software that's best for their job. And it's not always shared between the applications, which means the same information is often entered multiple times. It isn't updated in downstream systems automatically. If corrections or edits are made downstream, it may not be sent back upstream. And I could keep going, but you've seen these problems. You live in this. Data is literally everywhere, but not necessarily where you need it, when you need it. And if you're trying to figure out how to make processes and performance better, the problem isn't a lack of data. In fact, on average, healthcare organizations today generate 137 terabytes of data every day. In fact, a study published earlier this year that was done in partnership with HIMSS looked at what healthcare leaders were doing with all of this data. Well, 95% of the data, or the leaders said that the data is critical to their organization performance. Less than 60% of the data they're generating is actually being used to make informed decisions. The great news is that harnessing The power of data can be a game changer. When utilized effectively, data drives cost reductions, it enhances decision making, it helps tackle issues like workforce challenges, shortages, burnout, and rising operational expenses. In essence, leveraging data empowers leaders to develop innovative strategies that maximize resources while ensuring exceptional patient care and robust support for your staff. With data on your side, you can do more with less, and that paves the way for a brighter future in healthcare. Data analytic platforms like FinThrive Analyze are critical tools and essential enablers in turning dormant data into actionable insights. Like I said, I've been in the business of building software solutions for hospitals and healthcare systems for a long time. I've seen some of these challenges firsthand. I've sat in the call centers, business offices, doctors' lounges, and even done rounds. I've worked for multiple payers even. And all of this really gave me a well-rounded view of how information flows through one system and into another and back, or not. Taking care of patients is complex, and it requires departments and service lines, each of them having different tasks and each using different software to manage what they do. Now, this works really well for those specific activities, but it's really hard to see the big picture and how one thing impacts another. The result is a lack of visibility into why things are going the way they are, and then what actions should be taken to make it better. So that's what we're here to talk about, FinThrive Analyze. We've been building an analytics platform that provides the answers, how you need them and when you need them. FinThrive Analyze is a platform that enables users to access the data via the core products. Today, those core products include Claims Manager and Contract Manager. And Contract Manager, for those of you who have it, also, it includes underpayments. We aim to provide intelligence so that users can locate root causes of process performance that block and also areas that revenue is leaking from your system. When you view information about payer, patient, provider, back office, and revenue, it brings visibility into which levers will actually make a positive impact on your volume, performance, quality, and results. How we do this is we look at people like yourselves, and you all have jobs to do. So this is not all, but a sampling of the things that we look at that we try to build analytics around. FinThrive Analyze specifically is designed to tackle the challenges that you face. It provides the answers that you need to achieve your organizational goal and objectives. The solution is applicable at every level in every area of your organization. Whether it's a frontline leader focusing on helping the team meet daily or weekly targets, or an executive preparing to present to the board, we've got that data covered. So what does this look like specifically? FinThrive Analyze is not a one-size-fits-all. While we do provide dashboards, we know that it doesn't include everything that you need. We also know that you may be getting requests for entirely different views of the data. And so we're addressing that with this go-forward solution that builds onto where we started. And where we started was those integrated analyzers. So FinThrive is now made up of 3 core capabilities. The first is the integrated analyzer. Each integrated analyzer is designed to provide insights about a single focus and literally data source. So the core product like Claims Manager or Contract Manager. We are continuing to add on to those integrated analyzers, with Insurance Discover Analyzer being the next one to be released. Each of these analyzers is designed to provide intelligence around performance and operational outcomes. Each include key performance indicators, charts, and the ability to drill through to the details so that you really understand what happened and what to do next. Then we're going to be expanding on that by building a way to bring the data from those different analyzers into one place where users can create their own command centers. Insights Hub is designed to be literally a drag and drop, pre-built widget dashboard maker where you can essentially make your own dashboards however you want. This is one place that you can literally pull together the information from multiple sources. So if you wanted to bring information about clean claims and about your underpayments, you can see that all together. And I'll show you what that looks like in a couple minutes. So like I said, the Insight Hub is really designed to make data super easy. The widgets that we have available show insights, not just from one analyzer, but from any combination with the intent of answering your top of mind questions. It's literally the command center that people have been asking for years, letting people like yourselves drag and drop or resize these little widgets as you please. We make these widgets available through a library that's designed by the categories HFMA, the map keys, so that anyone can create the dashboards that they need. And these widgets also leverage machine learning. So this is a place that we're bringing in AI and machine learning to help our customers understand things like expected cash in 30, 60, 90, things like bulk denials and underpayments. Lastly, for the organizations that have strong analytics and reporting teams, we are introducing Data Hub. This is the on-demand direct access to data tool. Instead of going to multiple sources or having to rely on FinThrive to help with large data exports or help build custom reports, Data Hub contains all of the FinThrive Analyze data in one place. From here, your teams can slice and dice and then report out as needed. And it also manages things like leveraging the tools that your organization already has. So FinThrive uses Power BI, for example. If your organization instead likes Tableau, Data Hub allows for that. So it has been built to be somewhat agnostic in that all of the data moving around tools and all of the data reporting tools, Data Hub will work with. So there is flexibility there. And the development status is along the bottom there. So we're building fast and furiously to make these data tools available to you. So I want to show you what these look like. So let's, for this scenario, talk about claims. In the scenario, a patient comes in and receives services. The provider enters the information about the encounter into the EMR, and then the patient is discharged or leaves, depending on what services it was that they were receiving. So then that data goes through the processes in different systems, eventually getting into a billing queue. And depending on the rules of the organization and what who the attending provider was and all of the different factors, it may or may not be reviewed and edited before exporting to the payer. After export, the healthcare organization is expecting a certain reimbursement based upon that contract and that payer. Now, that said, nearly 50% of payment discrepancies are due to underpayments, representing $752,000 on average in lost revenue for every for payers that have an average payer mix. So then what do? How do you know how to prevent them and reduce them when these answers are literally all over the place? There are a lot of steps, a lot of applications, and the data is in many, many places. Worse, without the ability to bring all that information together, decisions are being made being made on partial information, letting money slip away, or just leaving it on the table. You need answers in order to make the right decisions and take the right actions. You need a command center to keep an eye on all these moving parts and pieces from one place in the way that you need when you need it. And that's what I get to share with you today, a way to get the answers that you need. This is a preview of Insights Hub. And in this alternate scenario where we have FinThrive Analyze capabilities, I set up this particular dashboard to view the different areas that could potentially lead to revenue loss. Included are widgets for commercial and managed care underpayments, clean claims, average days to get claims from import to export, rejection rate, and total charge lag. Each of these widgets can be configured. For example, I can set a tolerance range. That is what will result in those different colors of the font, so green, orange, or red. I can include the trend line or not. I can change the bar charts to be vertical or horizontal. I can resize all of these widgets and move them around so that so that they can be positioned how and where I want them. And then the other really cool thing about these widgets is that each one can be flipped over like a card, like the one here for claim edit AR days. That allows you to see the information about what is this widget that I'm looking at. So where did the data come from? What's the definition? Insights Hub is designed to be super clear about what needs your attention next, and then give you direct navigation to the places you can take those actions. So looking at this view, the clean claim rate caught my attention, as does the rejection rate. So to put this into perspective, just so that we have some numbers to talk about. The average cost of a dirty claim starts at around $25. Based on this conservative estimate, if your organization processes 100,000 claims each month, if that has a 1% rate of dirty claims for every 1% of dirty claims, that's costing at least $25,000. And over the course of a year, that adds up to $300,000 per 1% for claims that aren't clean. Additionally, for every 1% of dirty claims in a batch of 100,000, that increases the risk, right? Because you may or may not be editing it. So this may be rejected, it might be underpaid or denied. Without an analytics platform, teams would need to review 835s, 837s, patient accounting systems, and thousands of contracts and contract terms, looking for discrepancies between the services that were rendered, the expected payments, how many touches before export, and then what was actually paid. So if you are tasked with reducing costs and increasing revenue, FinThrive Analyze would help you identify the operational and performance challenges, such as the areas where the claims got delayed, where the revenue is being lost. Then by leveraging that data, you can collaborate with the team members across your organization to implement the changes that could drive meaningful improvements. FinThrive Analyze breaks down the data silos and pulls together those tens of thousands of records for you, literally connecting the data dots so that people can quickly see what's happening and what they need to go do next. So coming back to this example, we saw the clean claims rate and the rejection rate. So if we were to drill down and through to Claims Analyzer, then we can see that those two KPIs are on the Claims Analyzer executive summary screen. And then from this view, I have more context. I can look at the different timeframes, see the different dollars that are impacted, look at holds, view the impact of the different payers. All of this helps me to understand more about what's going on in the operations. And then from here, users can drill down even more. These are a couple snippets from, this one is the operational tab, where you can see some of the errors and warnings. You can see frequency about when and how often those are happening, and even where in the process those errors and warnings are being generated. So then from here, if I want to look at all the claims with a particular error, we have the ability to drill down and see the list of claims that have that particular error warning. And any of these are filterable, sortable. Things can be viewed however you want, as well as exported. The same is true for performance. On this view, we can see trends, things to do with denied and rejection rate, along with the financial impact that each claim had. This can be viewed by team, facility, payer, and plan. And there's, as with the other tab, I can filter, sort, slice, and dice, as well as export the data. Analyzers are intended to provide a summary, macro view, along with the ability to drill through to the line level detail, giving you the information that tells you what's going on within your system. And then the last thing, that third core capability, is Data Hub. So taking data to the next level, mentioned before, sometimes these displays aren't what you're looking for. You have other reports, you have other slices of things you want to look at, other periods of time, audits that are going on. There's lots of different reports that are needing to be generated for a lot of different reasons every day. Data Hub is the tool for that. So let's say that you have a reporting team who builds those dashboards and different reports. The Data Hub is an electronic data warehouse solution that gives that reporting team direct access to FinThrive Analyze data. Data can be within Data Hub, sliced and diced. It can be exported from Data Hub, and it can be used in whatever format that is needed by your organization. So if you use Tableau, for example, it can feed right into Tableau, and reports and dashboards created by your organization can be using Data Hub for a source. Another important thing to know about Data Hub is that it's refreshed at the same time as the production data. Meaning there isn't additional waiting, like we don't run it after the FinThrive Analyze, it's at the same time. So that data is available as soon as it would be in FinThrive Analyze. The great use case for Data Hub also is that it's all in one place. So if you have Claims Analyzer and Contract Analyzer, instead of having to do exports from Claims Analyzer and Contract Analyzer, it's one place. Data Hub, it can go in there. One other thing that a lot of our customers are interested in doing is, well, I want to see my 835 data in with this FinThrive Analyze data, and you can do that. So from Data Hub, you can import data and pull it all together and generate additional exports or reports, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve there. Okay, so this is what it looks like today and future-wise, a little preview of the FinThrive Analyze roadmap. And this is a picture across the top of the revenue continuum. The analyzers are depicting where in the continuum the coverage covers. So white bubbles in these on this view are the analyzers that we already have available. The light green ones are in the works, and the dark green ones are what's coming next. As you can see, we have a lot of the revenue management continuum covered. However, we do have more planned, and we are building them as quickly as it's very exciting. There's just so many things in the works. The Insights Hub and the Data Hub, which you saw previews of today, those have been either in beta and are now early adopter or to be available very soon. So if interested, please reach out and let me know. Training. The work you do is super important. And with FinThrive Analyze, our goal is to make your days easier, hopefully a lot less chaotic and frictionless. Using data is not just for people who can pivot a spreadsheet, and it shouldn't require that you have an analyst sitting next to you to explain what you're looking at. We are here to help any way we can. So if you already have a subscription to FinThrive Analyze and want additional training, we have online resources available, and we also have a training team as well as an advisory consulting team who can provide specialized training and guidance to help your teams. We also have the community portal, which is another great place to find answers to the questions you may have. Also, if you have ideas about what we could do better or in addition to what we already have, you want to submit those ideas, the community portal allows you to do that, as well as to share best practices. And if you don't already have FinThrive Analyze, please reach out to your customer success manager or an account representative, because they can help with the next steps. And of course, I am here too and would be happy to answer questions or get you to the right person. Thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you learned some valuable insights and are excited to get working on them. Remember that the tools and strategies we discussed can truly transform your approach and drive your success. If you have questions or would like to dive deeper into any of these topics, please feel free to reach out to me. I encourage you to take what you've learned and start implementing it right away. If you need some help, we are here. I think we have time for questions, if anyone has any.
So Amy, it looks like we have a question from Teresa, or maybe just to let you know, SJGH is interested in the new modules and discussing beta testing opportunities.
Okay, I love that. Yes. Wonderful. We will get in touch for sure.
And then we have another question from Bill. Do we need to be on Claims Web to use these tools?
You do not. No. Do you have Claims Manager?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Thank
so
you.
If you have, what I can do, Bill, is set up some time after this call and we can take a look and see if, because sometimes what I find is that organizations do subscribe to FinThrive Analyze, but the people who are interested in it don't know that they have it. So we can check that out and see if that's the scenario, or if not, how to get you set up.
Okay, I believe we do have that.
Oh, awesome. Good. Then we can give you a tour and show you how to make it work for your organization.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, one of the other things that we've been talking about internally is that these may be great to continue doing. And so if you also have ideas about future webinars that you'd like to see, things that you would like to understand more about, please submit them, send us an email, let us know, and we'd be happy to put together that content for you. All right. Any other questions? We will be sending out today's recording, so check your inbox for that. Here's and of course it includes the email. I believe mine was on the front page, so happy to have shared this information with you today and look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thank you all.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.